So, good morning, guys. This is the third part of our practice series for the AWS Certified AI exam. So, let's get started. So, this is the 21st question. It basically says that a generative AI specialist is performing prompt engineering, and the Gen AI provides a prompt on a desired output with a single example. So, what prompting technique does this describe? So, it's an easy question if you can already see that it's saying that the specialist is providing a prompt with a single example. So directly the answer is single shot. So single shot prompting. In zero shot, we do not provide a prompt. In single shot, we provide a single prompt. In few shot, we provide certain prompts like 2, 3, 4. In chain of thought, we provide a prompt that are linked to one another. So it's a simple question. Let's move forward. 22nd. So company wants to improve its loan approval process. The company wants to ensure that the ML predictions are accurate by using human review. So which AWS service will they use? So take a minute and think about it. Basically, they want to improve their predictions by using human review. Like they want to ensure that the predictions made by a model are accurate. So for that, they need a human review. So what AWS service they can use? Pause the video, take a minute and think about it. So I hope you have thought about the answer. So basically, Poly and Bedrock can directly be eliminated because they're nowhere linked to the question. Now we are left with two options, ground truth and augmented AI. So if you're aware that SageMaker ground truth and augmented AI both uses human review. Only difference is that in ground truth, the human review is used for making a data set. That is creating the data set that would be used for ML predictions. And in augmented AI, human review is used for checking the predictions made by a model. So here the answer is augmented AI. So just remember the difference between both the ground truth and augmented AI. So let's move forward. Coming to question number 23. A company wants to create a reusable prompt structure that can be adapted for different tasks and domains. So which prompt engineering technique will meet these requirements? So here are certain options. So out of this, it says that we need a reusable prompt structure. So if you read it carefully, so templates are used for these purposes. So directly you can choose prompt templates because templates are something that can be reused. So that you should be aware of. Coming to question number 24, which AWS service is suitable to store vector embeddings and perform semantic search? Take a minute and think about it. If you think it clearly, you can answer this even without knowing the concept. Like you can eliminate two, three options easily. So if you see that we need to store vector embeddings, and if you are aware that MySQL DB is a relational database, so we cannot store vector, this option is eliminated. Next, we come with Elasticache. Elasticache is something that we used for storing caches, like for improving the read efficiency of something. So that is also not the option. DynamoDB is a non-SQL database, so that can be stored, but the thing to remember here is that DynamoDB does not provide semantic search capabilities. Only OpenSearch does that. So the answer for this is OpenSearch. Coming to question number 25. A data scientist is using a diffusion model to generate images from text prompts. And scientists notices that images are often blurry and contain unwanted noise. So which prompting technique can you use to remove unwanted noise? This is also a simple question. Direct answer is negative prompting, because negative prompting is something when we want to remove certain parts in the answer that we do not want. So clearly it would be negative prompting here. Coming to question number 26. A company wants a solution that supports domain adaptation of ML models by providing a repository of pre-trained models and algorithms for fine-tuning. Which SageMaker feature will meet these requirements? So basically, we are given a repository of pre-trained models and algorithms for fine-tuning, and we want something that supports these, like domain adaptation ML models that supports these features. So which SageMaker feature can you use? Take a minute or pause the video and think about it. Yep. So if we look at the options one by one, SageMaker Autopilot is something that is used for automating the training process. So that is not something that we want here. SageMaker Feature Store is something that stores features that can be used by other uh, persons or models. So, and model registry is something that when we register a model in different versions and all. So only feasible option is Jumpstart, because that is something that we can use when we have pre-trained models and we want to support domain adaptation and train our model accordingly. So Jumpstart. Coming to question number 27. A data scientist needs to understand the real-time predictions, unfair predictions. Point to note here is unfair predictions for model based on certain attributes. Which service meets this requirement? So basically, we need to figure out if a model is making certain predictions based on certain parameters. Maybe it is preferring a certain gender, preferring a certain race. So, what feature can we use to detect this? Ground truth, we already discussed, it's for creating databases, like creating the data set and human reviews involved. Model monitor is for monitoring the models. Wrangler is for transformation of data. Clarify, if you're not aware, clarify is something SageMaker offers for detecting biases. So this is a bias where we are doing unfair predictions. That is a bias. So clarify is something that is used for this purpose. Coming to question number 28, what is the legal risk related to biases or discriminated outputs from a Gen AI system? This comes under responsible AI section, and this is a very vague topic, to be honest, I believe, but still it comes in the exam, so you have to read about it. So if you read the question, what is the legal risk related to bias or discriminatory outputs from a Gen AI? If a Gen AI system is giving outputs that are discriminatory or biased, so what is the legal risk? Antitrust violations should not be answered because that is something relating to trust and integrity. And to discrimination is something, if we are discriminating something, so it's basically we are violating a certain gender, age group or something. So that comes under breach of consumer protection laws. Privacy is also not an issue. Intellectual property infringement something different. So it's breach of consumer protection laws. This is, to be honest, not very clear to me as well, because it's I think it's ambiguous. Many options look similar to each other. So read about it. The maximum you can get, the better. Question number 29. Company is incorporating a existing chatbot into an application by using Gen AI. The developer encounters offensive words. So what service can AWS use to moderate content? Mackie and Poly are for different purposes. Poly is for converting, I guess, text to speech or speech to text, one of it. Clarify is for detecting biases. Mackie is for a different purpose. Comprehend is something that is used for detecting sentiment in a, like in the output. So comprehend is something that can be used to moderate the content and prevent offensive words. So simply comprehend. Question number 30. Company is using a text generation FM on a Bedrock for a customer facing chatbot. The company wants to prevent FM from answering questions about certain sensitive topics that the customer might ask. It looks similar to the previous one. Okay, let me compare its existing chatbot, offensive words, prevent offensive. Okay, this is it's on Bedrock. Company wants to prevent the FM from asking questions. Okay, this is different. So what this is saying is, basically in the previous one it was saying that basically a chatbot they want to use, and in application history means someone wrote some offensive words. So what in that case, what AWS service the developer used to moderate content. So when someone asks certain offensive words, so the chatbot will get to know using comprehend, and depending upon that, it will trigger the answer. Now here is like the company wants to prevent the FM from answering question. It wants to prevent the foundational model to do not answer questions about certain topics. Let's say I don't want that someone should ask my model questions about like let's say gender, let's say about religions. So I will train my model that when let's say someone asks me a question about religion, so I will simply the chatbot will reply, the model will reply that I do not answer about this. So for this, like what can you do? It's this. How can you prevent the FM from? So this is a concept called guardrails. So what in guardrails, what you can do is you can write the topic like and enter the you have to just enter the words or the topics that you do not want your model to answer. So you can define a topic in guardrails. So as soon as someone asks that question, it will be like a certain response can be given to the user. So here the answer would be this: define the denied topic on guardrails. I hope you understand the difference between the last question and this. Last question was saying that a developer has to moderate the content, basically check the sentiment of the words used, so comprehend can be. And similarly, this was also not a option given in the last question, so that makes it easier for us. So that's all for it. Thanks, cheers.